Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Ben Taylor podcast. Today we're sitting down with the CEO of a boat builder, the Saxdor Boatbuilder. So I'm here with Erna Rusi, the CEO there. So nice to see you, Erna.
Nice to meet you, Ben. Hi.
So give us some context. What are you about? What's your thing? And then we'll go into Saxdor.
Okay. I've been in the boating business now for about 4.5 years. Before that, I had zero understanding of boats, period.
Oh, wow.
No boating background, totally from outside the industry. So they really bet on a black horse when they hired me.
Okay,
so
yeah.
I joined the company 21 October and been here ever since.
I know you're here. Okay, and what was your background? So if it wasn't boating,
I was really in telecom business
okay.
for about 20 years in various roles, from sales to business development to brand and marketing, commercial roles mostly.
Right. Okay. And what differences have you seen? Because I always look at the boating industry and go, well, it's usually boaters, especially in leadership of companies.
Yeah.
They've done it forever. It runs in the family, something like that.
Yeah.
So what's your perspective on coming from outside of the industry?
I think all of that applies, what you just said, but I do think that there's a lot of room to structure the companies differently, which has been sort of, my angle. I was never hired, obviously, to be the boating expert.
Yeah.
So, to structure differently, to run the companies as businesses. It's not a hobby, and to have more structure. And I think that, working for a huge corporation gives you quite a good perspective of how different things should work, how you should align, and so on and so on, especially when you grow.
Yeah, and I always think boat building is a difficult business.
Yeah.
It's just difficult. It's really complicated manufacturing, pretty niche audience.
Yeah.
High value items, like to sell them and market them, like the investment in a stand and all these shows.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. It's just a difficult business.
It is. And I think that one thing I did leave out in my previous answer was that the difference obviously is being in the manufacturing industry. So obviously when you make something, it's much more labor oriented. You got a lot more people to look after. It's different if you're in a service provider business, or even if you're purchasing something from a manufacturer and then distribution. So we do it end to end. Everything is us.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And tell us more about Saxdor. What does the brand stand for? What's your mission? What's the kind of target there?
Mm-hmm. Well, Saxdor is obviously founded by Sakari Mattila, who, in my opinion, is a pure genius in this industry. Sake is the Steve Jobs of this industry. He has a totally different thinking in his design. He has created the day boat category, if you like.
Okay.
So, or the adventure boat, however you want to call it. But this type of boating has really come from Sakari's pen, if you like, because he has founded Aquador, Paragon, co-founded EXO, founded Axopar, and then this is his fifth and final, I'd like to point out, final boat brand. So, what we stand for, we have always believed, we have 3 brand pillars, WOW design, WOW performance, and WOW pricing. So, we think that combining those 3 is really the key to success. And we have been able to create we have found our position in the marketplace where it's not easy to compare us directly with somebody else. We have sort of found our position, but I'm sure we'll come back to that later.
So a little bit like, with that cross section of those 3 values, you then end up with a little bit of a niche part of the market, but actually quite a nice one. And so you don't have to compete against other boat builders serving other niches. You can actually just stay in your stronghold. Is that where you're coming from there, or?
I would say so, that surprisingly, our design, these 3 things combined, we have been able to find a very sort of nice position globally that speaks to large audience. If you call us niche, niche in the sense that you know, we are only 6 years old brand and
Yeah.
so on. But when you look at our growth and our global footprint, we speak to audiences from the Nordics all the way down to Nigeria, to Middle East, to Caribbean, to Canada cold markets, to, you know, so we have found a design and brand position that speaks to large audience, and that is really the key for our growth. So we're not in a niche, we're a serial production company.
Right, okay.
We produce approximately 700 boats a year.
Wow. Nice.
Nice.
That's quick. That's quick as well. We're 6.5 years in.
Yeah, 6 years we're in the market, yeah.
And do you find the buyers of these boats are often traditional boaters, or is it a bit of a fresher mass market audience?
Not traditional. There are obviously, there
Yeah,
are.
they're there, but yeah.
But I would say that first of all, our audience is a bit younger than the average.
Okay.
There's a lot of people, sort of younger people that have come to money, you know, that have maybe had a startup, they've sold this and that, you know, new money.
Yeah.
And our audience, the key target group starts from 35 up. I think the biggest group is 45, 55, and then spilling over.
Okay.
But I would like to also point out that women love our brand.
This is interesting as well.
Yes.
Not only because you're a female CEO, okay, you can lead the company in that direction. But I remember at the European boating industry breakfast, you're on a panel with two other boat builders, and there was a conversation that came up, which was essentially consider the female purchase decision maker.
Exactly.
Because if they don't approve, it's not going to sell.
I would like to ask that when was the last time that any male who has a partner has purchased a home, a summer house, furniture, done remodeling without their wife or their partners, their partner being essential decision maker.
Yeah.
In that.
I think this is actually quite straightforward. I think it's, well, they're going to enjoy it and spend time on it as well.
Exactly.
So if it's something like a family boat, going day boating, taking the whole family out,
Exactly.
they're going to be on it. It's got to appeal to them too.
It's got to.
And it's worth it from a boat builder's perspective to say, let's consciously make sure there are features and design elements designed for everyone on board.
Yeah. And I think that what we have built, we hear the feedback from the females a lot that, oh, I love the beauty of it. I love the roundness. I love the comfort. I love the space. I love the fact that I can have my family, my friends here we call it social boating. You know, we want you to spend the time on water, have fun with your friends and family. I think that it's a big difference from traditional, if you like, destination boating, where you go somewhere and the fun is at the destination. Our fun starts right when you step on board.
Yeah.
It's the boat is the experience.
Yeah.
You know?
And most of the time it's stationary.
Exactly. That's when you enjoy it. And then, you know, when you want to drive it, we always build driver's boats. So the performance is essential. So when you want to go, our boats go. Yeah. So, you know, there's a thrill for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. And so you mentioned as a manufacturer, you've scaled up to now 700 boats going out of the factory every year in 6.5 years. How's that journey been? Going from kind of new boat builder, okay, Saxdor is now on the market, into from kind of a business side and operations side, what kind of challenges come up and how did you get over them?
What haven't we had? Of course, as anybody knows, scaling up is not always easy. We started in the rented facility of, I think we had like 4,000 square meters. It was so cramped that when we were producing the 320s, we had to take the boats out in between different work stages, and we had to turn them outside because we didn't have any room indoors and so on. But very shortly after, we built our own facility in Elk. And of course, that's even small now. So we have expanded to Finland. We have expanded to a partner company. It's not always easy because you have to. I like to say that you have to take 100% decisions with 70% information.
Yeah.
You cannot expect to always have everything in front of you and then take a decision, because then you'll be late.
Yeah.
So, it's about having the guts to, read enough that you are good to go, and trying to you have to try to take the decisions that you believe in and push for that,
Yeah.
Of course, it's a lot of personnel, a lot more headcount, a lot more suppliers, a lot more partners, a lot more bigger entities to manage. So it's felt all throughout the organization.
Yeah. And so when you're making the decision to expand and get more boats out and just increase the capacity, how much do you look at the wider industry data with kind of boat purchasing trends and things like that, compared to internal data where you say, well, we're selling them, so let's follow that trend? Or is it kind of a bit of a balance? How do you do it?
Of course, we look at the markets, yes, and we look at the big trends. But sometimes, again, the data is kind of outdated because it's looking in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
So how do you predict the future based on looking at the rearview mirror?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to. We take what we can, and we look at the mega trends, of course, but then you just have to trust what you know. You talk to your dealers, you talk to your markets, you talk to your customers, you try to predict how things would go. And of course you need to then always have the way of pull back. If it doesn't work, you have to be able to pull back as well. And we have done that. We have also failed. We started our US production, I think was 22, 23. Couldn't do it. Do it. We probably chose a partner that wasn't optimal for us, and we tried to make round things square,
Right, okay, yeah.
And it just didn't work, and we had to pull back.
Yeah, and does it become a change quickly, otherwise it's just going to get worse?
Yeah, and
It's
you know,
like be
fail
agile.
fast.
Yeah.
Fail
yeah.
fast, right? So if you think that this is not going to do it, you don't get
Address
too,
it nice
too
and early,
invested.
start those conversations.
When they become your own babies, then you sort of just push and push, and you don't let go. That's the scariest thing. So you have to be able to let go of something. For instance, we all love Saxdor 200, our first design. Our customers love it. It's a great, great, great boat to drive. It's fun, it's everything. But when the market was slowing down after COVID, we very fast saw that small boats is going to be a problem. We stopped the production early.
Wow.
We stopped very early, much earlier than some of our friends in the market. And we were right, to do that. And so that's what I mean, like kill your darlings. You have
it's
to.
a bit of a prioritize, but prioritize constantly.
Yeah.
Once something might have been priority, the 200 sold well.
Exactly.
But as soon as that starts coming down, you need the fresh one, you need to innovate, you need to say, okay, this is what's next.
Yeah.
And because your timeline's so long in manufacturing, you'll need to start that now for what, a boat coming to market 3 years from now, 4 years from now?
Yeah, and that's what I meant when I said about looking at the data that's kind of like already old. How do you predict then 18 months to 48 months ahead?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah. And so a lot of suppliers watch this podcast who supply boat builders. Is there anything changing, or do you have a specific way that you engage with suppliers to be more long-term partnership things? Is there different types of suppliers where you just want short-term kind of, okay, we've seen an influx of demand, let's use you quick? How do you create that relationship?
I guess I'm not the perfect person to answer for our suppliers, but I would say that we have great suppliers. We have great relationships with our suppliers. We like to think of them as they are our partners, really.
Okay, yeah.
And they are very devoted to our brand. They co-develop with us, and I would say that it's a win-win for both of us. When we're successful, they're successful. So we succeed together.
So So would you say it's close to this very consultative, long-term,
Obviously,
let's have some stability, as opposed to just kind of, oh, that's a great product, yeah, let's have it on this model, but maybe not the others.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As we are a serial production company, we need to think that that the solutions between the boats, we try to consolidate. So it's easier for us, instead of having so many different parts in all the boats, it's better to align and then have the differentiators. So in that regard, we try to always look for suppliers for long-term relationships. Of course, we have something that we just, hey, we saw something, let's try. But usually it's always a long-term relationship. And of course, we have different profile suppliers. But the strategic ones are very, very close to us, and we work in tight collaboration.
And does that tend to serve you well in terms of risk mitigation, kind of building that trust, and generally just a bit of robustness in the supply chain?
I think this is the key. This is maybe a question that is difficult to solve, because when you make custom parts with a custom
As soon as it's custom, it's a nightmare.
Yeah. And let's say when you have customized parts with some supplier, you really can't make them with another one, right?
Yeah,
so
they're
you
already
are
developed.
dependent. So
Yeah.
they have developed them together with us, and they know how to do it. So it's not always easy to have the plan B. So we are also dependent on our suppliers.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody could argue that risk management should be an issue, that we should have always three.
It's a mutual risk.
But it's a
for
mutual
both sides.
risk.
Yeah. Okay, and what about the future? What are we looking forward to? What are you working on now that we can kind of look forward to? You don't have to be too specific, but
well, I think everybody can see that if we like we said, we started with the Saxdor 200, which was a 6-meter boat costing about 50K.
Yeah.
We just introduced 460 in Düsseldorf,
Yeah.
which is a over 15-meter long boat, costing 800-900K. So, we are moving towards bigger boats, for sure. And, if you look at our name, Saxdor Yachts, I'm sure there were people saying, Saxdor Yachts, and you have a 6-meter boat. What are you talking about?
What's happened?
What's happening?
Yeah.
But, that has always been our plan, to go bigger. And now is the time that we're doing it. The 460 is sort of the one in between the yacht line and the sort of the standard Saxdors. And let's see how far we go, and let's see how wide we go. But
we'll find out.
I think our design is well appreciated also in a bigger category. And the drivability, I mean, the guys tested the 460 in rough conditions in Finland where it's produced. And it wasn't fully equipped. We were still missing some parts, so it was a bit lighter, but it was 52 knots that it went easily.
Wow.
Boom, just like that, without any adjustments and anything. So it's always
Serious
a driver's
boat.
boat.
Serious boat.
Yeah, serious boat.
Okay, fantastic.
sure.
Erna, thank you for coming on the podcast. Pleasure
Thank you
meeting
for having me.
Yeah, a real pleasure.
You.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Everybody, if you enjoy content like this, make sure you're following here to see plenty more of it. All being well, we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.